Hey guys, what's going on? So today's video we're going to look at raising your KD in Rebirth, getting more kills, dying a little bit less. These are tips that you can put into every game that you play, that you can start working into your gameplay. Obviously you don't have to do all these things, you might already do some of these things. It's just a general guide of things that you should be doing, things you should be avoiding while playing Rebirth, help you get those high kill games, help raise your KD while you're playing. While this video is playing, we're going to have a bit of gameplay in the background, just if any of you want to watch it. It's a nice little 19 kill gameplay we've got with the MP40. So without wasting any time, we'll get straight into it. So the first thing that you need to be doing while playing Rebirth is you need to be getting your loadout as quickly as possible. Now, at the moment, as of making this video, ground loot is pretty good. You can pick up an MP40 and it's pretty much got all the attachments that you'd run with your loadout. So you can get quite a fair few kills from the ground loot. However, you're not going to have your perks, you're not going to have a decent secondary weapon, whether that be a sniper, assault rifle, whatever you are running. So you want to try and land somewhere where you can loot as quickly as possible, get that loadout as quickly as possible, so you've got your own guns, your own perks, and just everything, because it is going to give you such an advantage against players that don't have their loadout yet. And if you get your loadout very quickly or fairly quickly, you can then start going to spots on the map with buys, the hot drops like prison, control center, decon, places like that, and you can start holding the buy stations where people are going to be trying to loot up really quickly and try to get their loadouts, and you can just start wiping the teams really quickly because you're going to have the advantage. You've got your loadout guns and they don't, so it's going to be an easier pick for you. It's gonna get you more kills straight off the bat, and then you'll find yourself, if you don't get your loadout pretty quickly, you're gonna be finding yourself dying, landing in, trying to find money or whatever through boxes, and it's just gonna be all taken already. And then you're just gonna start getting picked off by people with loadouts, and you're gonna have to wait until that first loadout spawns. And then, as we all know, people love to camp the loadouts in Rebirth, so you're probably going to get frustrated very quickly. It's probably going to be a quick game where it's going to end with your team all dying. Now this leads me on to my second point, which is if someone is camping your loadout, or if a team is camping your loadout, and you've died a couple of times trying to grab it, don't keep landing on the loadout and trying to get it, because you're going to rack up more deaths then you're going to get killed in that game, and you're going to get frustrated very, very quickly to the point where the game's just going to end because your team keep dying, or you're just going to leave because you're dying over and over and over again. If a team's camping your loadout, there's not a lot you can do. You land in with a pistol or a basic submachine gun at best if it's late on in the game. You've got two plates, you're at a disadvantage already. They're going to be posted up, staring at your loadout. The minute that you land, you're gonna die. The best thing that you can do is either try and land on a scavvy or something like that, try and gain some money quick and buy yourself another loadout, or try and land somewhere where you know someone's died, get their weapons. If you want to try and fight the team that's holding your loadout, go ahead, then you can grab your loadout. If not, just use the weapons that you've landed on to try and get you to the end of the game. It does happen quite a lot where people camp loadouts, unfortunately, just because they know it's easy kills, because they know that you really want your loadout, so they're just going to sit there and wait for you to keep coming back. And if you keep coming back, then they're going to sit there for even longer because they're getting free kills, so why wouldn't they just sit there? So stop landing on your loadout if someone's camping it, because you're not going to win a full team with two plates and a pistol. It's just not going to happen. So the next thing we're going to talk about is your movement around the map. Now, you don't need to fly around the map, go from end to end of the map to get a lot of kills in a game. Most of the time you're going to get more kills in a game by holding a certain position on the map that is hot. And what I mean by that is it's a place where a lot of people have dropped near because it's where the plane went over, or it's just a hot place like prison or headquarters, because those places a lot of people tend to gravitate towards. If you stick in those places and start farming teams, and we'll go on to what that means in a moment, then you will get a lot more kills than just flying around the map. What tends to happen if you do fly around the map is you're going to run into a team that's posted up, more than likely probably with bouncing bears or claymores on the door, something like that, and you're just going to die because you're going to run into a team of 4 that posted up, they're waiting for you, and you're just going to get killed straight away. So hold a certain position of the map. This doesn't mean just sit in a corner of a building. It means pick an area of the map with a few places on, like prison or the headquarters buildings, all those buildings around it, and just keep jumping from building to building and farm teams that come into it. And position yourself so you can pick people off as they come in, or if they're around you, or if you've got a sniper, you can pick people off around those buildings. So in that last point, we talked about farming teams. And what I mean by that is farming teams is a great way to rack up your kills. What farming teams is, obviously, when you play Resurgence, teammates come back. So if you're fighting a squad of 4, what you want to do is you want to try... I mean, this doesn't always work out because players push you, or you might just run into them as you're repositioning yourself, whatever. What you want to do is you want to try and kill 3 people off that team, and then when that last guy is left, don't kill him, don't rush towards him, leave him, let his teammates respawn, because then they're going to respawn in with pistols, and they're going to respawn in with 2 plates, and they're just going to be easy picks. So when you killed 3 of the team, let the last guy live, let the teammates come back, because they're probably going to land on you, they want to come and get their guns back or whatever, and then you're just going to get 3 kills every time they come back. And if you keep repeating this cycle and you get really good at it, it's an easy way to get 10 kills in the space of a few minutes, just because they're going to keep landing on you and landing on you and landing on you because they want their guns, and they're probably going to be pissed off that you keep killing them. So yeah, it's a really easy way to get kills. Now my next tip is going to be learn how to use a sniper and get comfortable with a sniper. If you've been watching the gameplay below you, you'll notice that I quite often look in the air and try and snipe people out of the air. The reason for this is because it's the only way that you can actually kill people landing in, because they've got spawn protection. If you can headshot people out of the air, it's a really, really easy way to get a free kill, because they can't do anything, they can't shoot back at you. If you get comfortable with a sniper and you can get 2, 3, 4 kills out of the air in a game, that's an extra 2, 3, 4 kills that you get in that you wouldn't get if you were using an assault rifle, because you can't shoot people out of the air with an assault rifle. If you can get comfortable with a sniper, it's really, really easy free kills. Also, sniping is a really good way to get yourself out of situations where you wouldn't be able to win it with an assault rifle. What I mean by that is there might be times where you can quickly scope on someone, down someone, and either finish a team off or get out of that situation, because then they're going to focus on rezzing their friend, which is a really good thing to have in your back pocket if you're good with a sniper. Obviously, I'm not saying that you have to be amazing with a sniper. You don't have to be like FaZe Neo, where you're quick scoping everybody and it's your main weapon. I'm just saying get comfortable enough where you can use it to your advantage. Now, this next thing is something that's going to take a bit of practice if you're not used to doing it already, and that is movement during gunfights. Now, this can be broke down into a full video really by itself on how you should move when you're fighting people, the best way to try and win gunfights, etc. My biggest tips for you would be, when you're fighting somebody one-on-one, the best thing to do is bunny hop during that fight. By bunny hopping during that fight, and what I mean by bunny hopping is just jumping over and over and over again. What this does is it's putting your aim up, which is obviously towards the head, because most people will automatically try and shoot at the chest because it's the largest area on that person. And while you're jumping up and going for their head, it will then make them shoot the lower half of your body towards your leg area, so they'll be dealing less damage, you'll be dealing more damage. Also makes you a little bit of a harder target to hit, might throw them off a little bit, might throw them off from hitting you. Now the second tip I've got for the movement is try and always make it so you're making a one-on-one fight. This isn't always possible, you can't always make it for a one-on-one fight. But what you need to do is use corners, use doors, anything to your advantage. If you've got a 2-on-1, you're very rarely going to win it unless they're really bad or you're really good, which you're probably not going to watch this video if you're really, really good anyway, because you probably don't care what I have to say. But if you can make it so you've got a one-on-one situation by jumping around a corner or jumping through a door so that one person chases you, you can down them, you can then push back through the door, you can down them. it just makes it a lot easier for you to win those gunfights one-on-one rather than 2 versus 1, because it's really hard to win 2 versus 1s, 3 versus 1s, and 4 versus 1s. I mean, you're hardly ever going to win them, and if you do, then they are really bad. Now, if you've made it to the end of the video, then thank you very much. Please, if you haven't already, drop a like, and if you do like this content, make sure to subscribe. So for the last tip, what we're going to go for is use guns that you're comfortable with. Now, I definitely advise using guns that are close to the meta. And what I mean by that is guns that are relatively good. However, don't use guns that are purely meta if you don't like them. Now, to give you a bit of context to this, I'll go back to when the Cold War integration started. If any of you played around that time, you'll know that the Cold War MP5 was meta for quite a long time. I wasn't a massive fan of the Cold War MP5. I wasn't very good with it. Even though statistically, this was the best gun to use, it was the meta, it had the best TTK, etc. I just wasn't very good with it because I couldn't use it. I don't know what it was, I just wasn't very good with it. So I would play better using other guns, even though statistically the Cold War MP5 was better. Yes, try and use guns that are in the meta, because obviously it will put you in an advantage in a gunfight, but don't use guns that you're not comfortable with, because it's just going to get you killed a lot of the time. If this video has helped you out, then make sure you drop a like, subscribe so you can make your way back, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.